Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is Sunday evening, time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and joining me in the co-host chair is Becky's hair, and then Becky's here too. You know, it's not really all that messy. It's just kind of big, but it's kind of awesome.
I tried. I need a haircut. I can't decide what I want to do. If I want to let it grow out or
I'm so jealous.
Go back to feel very mad scientist right now.
So jealous. Good to see everybody in the chat. Welcome. Right off the top, I want to say hi to Kim from Oregon and healing vibes sent to your mom when you watch us later. All right, let's introduce our guest, shall we? Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. Hey, what's happening, Bruce? How are you, man?
Doing really good.
Good. Our guest this week is Bruce, and Bruce, his three things that go together are Bibles, booth, and a toad. And it's the first time I've actually done comical artwork, so to speak, or Nadine did, because Bruce is a big Bible seller. He works for a company that has toad in the title, and he has a booth, not a telephone booth, mind you, but a booth at an antique mall. So we're going to be talking about all three of those things. Kind of like we talked with Chris Yerden 2 weeks ago. How do you have time to do all that and have a normal life also? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Now, I'm still not on rum because I'm still on narcotics for the pain. But since Bruce is big in selling Bibles, there are no tiki mugs that are Bibles. But the Bible for the Tiki community is the Book of Tiki. So here is the mug for the Book of Tiki. So I at least got somewhat of a Bible tonight to drink out of. And this mug holds a lot. So I'm just drinking water. But boy, if it was full of rum, this sucker is gigantic. As I was filling it with water, it just wasn't getting to the top. I'm like, what drink was supposed to go in this?
It's a well.
What you drinking tonight, Beck? Anything exciting?
I don't actually have anything to drink tonight.
All right. I saw Bruce drinking coffee. What were you drinking there, Bruce?
Nope. Just got water.
Just water? All right. Cool. Well, Bruce, sit back, relax, and Beck and I will be back with you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right, Beck, let's get right to our scores because we got lots of cool stuff. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Oh.
Hello.
Put it up.
I love this jug. I spotted it at an estate sale, and it was 50% off when I walked in. And she said, if you wait 10 minutes, we're going to shove everybody out and then let everybody back in and you can get it for 75% off.
Wow, that's nice of them.
Yeah. So I got a couple of really good things for cheap, and I took a best offer of 59 on it and sent it on its way.
Nice.
Those sold for full asking price. I had them listed for a little bit, but they're Michael Kors, and the wedge boot is still really popular. So I knew I could get what I was asking for them, and they got delivered. And no news is good news. So
yep. Always the case.
Yeah. For some reason, these sell. I bought 12, bought a set of 12 at an estate sale, and every time I list them, it doesn't take very long for the 3-packs to sell. And I've got one more 3-pack to go. And
that's crazy.
Huh?
I don't think I would have looked at those.
Yeah, it's weird what sells. So I always go in the bathroom. I look for vintage perfume bottles. Sometimes makeup if it's really vintage, like compacts and lipsticks. I sell it for the case, not for the makeup. Please don't use gross old makeup. But the gold liners are great. Yeah. I got an offer for 18 on those, and so I took those. And the nice thing, it's a score because I got them for free.
Where'd you get them for free?
An ex-boyfriend.
Fair enough. All right. I'm showing 4 scores, but only 2 things this week: jeans and tiki mugs, because they're my 4 of my favorite scores this week. So for starters, vintage Wranglers in fashion colors is what you're looking for, because vintage Wranglers don't hold the same kind of money like vintage Levi's do. They're worth a couple bucks, but purple, pink, depending whatever color you see, $51. I only paid like $5 for them. I'm like, these are so not priced right when I picked them up. And like people pay money for fashion colors, and they sold rather quick.
Those
Speaking
are
of
cool.
speaking of fun jeans, Stacy, I looked at these and I walked by, and then Stacy picked them up and said, "You should probably buy these. These are Levi Super Mario jeans."
Yes,
Yeah,
especially with
so
the
the
movie
front is
coming out.
I realized my picture should have been a little combo action because look at the buttons.
Wow,
Look at that. And then the lining on the pockets inside is
those
a
are
Mario
rad.
too. So very cool. Those were at Buffalo Exchange for I think $20, but I took a best offer of $100.
Very cool.
So very cool. And then, when you collect something like I collect tiki mugs, I know, shocker. And I
What?
bought this from a friend who ended up being a lunatic. So, it's clear out the house of stuff made by lunatics, but um I only bought it for $100 and I sold for $365. So him turning into a lunatic, I made $265 off of him. So yay,
Nice.
bye.
I still hope I get to find a tiki mug out in the wild, like a good one. I mean, I've found a few, but nothing like yours.
And speaking of the wild, these were at an auction up in Seattle. And so I have friends up there that held on to me, picked up my winnings along with their winnings. But someone was selling their whole tiki collection, and I got this for $85 at auction, and I sold it for $340. So, Mom has talked about auctions. I've talked about auctions, plenty of online auctions, and look in the area where you live. But if you've got friends in Seattle or in Austin or Cleveland or wherever, say, hey, can you go pick that up for me? If the deal is good, so you should definitely look for what your specialty is everywhere.
Those are cool mugs.
Heck yeah. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. All right, Beck, how about a used Bon Jovi cassette for $25?
I never would have believed it had you not told me.
I mean, every one of us who is this age had this cassette in their car in the 80s.
Yes.
So there's plenty of them out there, but people are starting to pay bigger money for the hairband stuff from the 80s, which is fine with me because I find a ton of it.
Uh-huh.
So $25 for this used cassette. And before anyone asks, yes, I put a fresh case on it. I didn't send it out with the crack.
Nice.
All right, definitely my best vinyl score of the week. I paid $35. I sold it for $125. But what I wanted to share was, if you all can see, the vinyl is shaped like a bloody saw blade.
Yeah, I would have bought that.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was $70, but the used record store down the street from me has a point system. So I had enough points that ended up being half off. And I knew at 35 I was going to make some decent money. And so, yeah, sold for $125 on Amazon.
Very cool.
And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. All right. I'm going to get you to believe tonight, Becky.
Oh.
I know you haven't believed yet, so I'm going to get you to believe tonight.
I'm a believe hair.
All right. So I've taught this in my classes. One of the things to look for is soundtracks to video games. So this is the soundtrack to Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate. It's a lot of words. But I paid $6 at a record store in San Francisco and sold it for $50.
That is so cool.
And that's my cheapie of the week.
Oh my God.
Echo and the Bunnymen box set, another cassette I had a lot of in the 80s, as Becky did too. Echo was so good. I did pay $30 at Amoeba Records, but I did sell it for $80. So I still cleared about $30 profit. And to list on Amazon for me is very quick and easy. So the profit margin doesn't have to be as big. All right. How about Muppet Treasure Island?
What?
Local record store by our house in Phoenix was $9. Sold it for $85. This has been out of print for a long time. So people will pay big money for it. But luckily, the record store doesn't know that. Don't tell them, please. All right. Here's the big one. The one that's going to make everyone believe. Okay. Here is a Madonna import CD single. So old. It still has the $15.99 Tower Record sticker on it. And that's the down price. It's $17.99, and there might be another one behind there. I paid $12.99, again, at the Zia Records in Phoenix. And what's amazing about this Madonna is they misspelled her name.
They did.
So,
Again,
it's for the song Nothing Really Matters. And
Yeah.
to show you what's on the CD, 4 versions of the same song. Club
That's
69
crazy.
Future Mix, Funk Mix, Vikram Radio Mix, Mix Show Mix, So it's the same song 4 times. And let me show you what it sold for. And I'll just let this sit here for a second.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. $200. Now, if you don't believe yet, and if you don't rush out and buy my courses now, you will never believe, and you'll be missing out on all this money.
I mean, I'm gobsmacked. I'm flabbergasted.
Nope, not a bootleg. Japanese. They just misspelled their name. You get a lot of misspellings from the imports, even legit ones. I have a Betty Page import that Betty spelled with a Y on the spine and an IE on the cover. Like they couldn't even get it together on the same one. Yes, I did leave the original tower stickers on because that puts it at a time and place and dates it. I definitely got rid of the Zia $13 sticker, but I did tell them the original tower stickers were on it because tower's been gone for how long now. So yeah, people definitely like those originals when it's older.
I miss Tower Records.
So do I. I used to work there.
Yeah. What's the sticker?
What'd you say?
I was gonna say, what's the Japanese that's called an obi?
Yeah, the obi is the strip of paper down the left side. Good job. Okay. And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. Sadly, they're not all $200 Madonna CDs.
I know, right? I thought this was so cool. I've had this thing listed forever. It's a vintage button kit. So if you like it, send me an offer and I'll accept it.
BB Baxter, come get it.
I'm just surprised I still have it because it looks like fun. And then this Pier 1 Imports, the little T for 1. I've upped the price. I've lowered the price. I put it back. I've had it probably 3 years. And it's
that's like a Debbie 3 years.
Yeah. So again, if anybody's interested, send me an offer and I'll pack it up and ship it out.
Mine are sold, but look, I did show you a $200 CD. Let me show you one where I might have almost lost money. Now I only paid 75 cents, listed for over 2 years. I had a 50% off sale on all these old things and it sold for $750, but they also found it through my promoted listings. So when all the smoke clears, I'm going to clear maybe $2, but it took me 2 years to clear $2 or $3. It so wasn't worth it. So that one was a mistake.
Last the promoted listings.
And this one too. I had bought a bunch of DVDs at an estate sale a couple of years ago. I made a ton of money on the really rare ones, and a couple things I grabbed I shouldn't have grabbed, this being one of them. Finally sold again at the 50% off sale for $11. I think I paid $5. So again, to have your money tied up for 2 years to make $3-4, it isn't really worth it. So make sure that you have, if you're going to have your money tied up for a couple of years, make sure it's going to be a big turn at the end, not a little turn.
Which surprises me because In Living Color is a great show.
Yeah. That's why I grabbed it without looking it up, and whoops, my bad.
We all do it.
And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Hello. These went to Mexico. San Andres Cholula, Puebla. I took a best offer, $38, and it was a very easy transaction. And they were so happy with the shoes when they got them. Nice.
I sell a little bit to Mexico too. People get worried, but of all the places I've shipped, Mexico, I've really never had any problems. So
me either.
Happy customers. Okay.
Ooh.
I wanted to pick this for a couple of reasons. Rupert Holmes, it's his greatest hits. Rupert Holmes has one hit, and you all know it. It's called Escape the Pina Colada Songs. The Pina Colada song. If you like pina coladas, that's it. How they got a whole greatest hits? He has no other hits. That's it. One hit. But Rocky View is 7.5 hours north of Brisbane, and it's like 1,000 people. It's a little place in Australia. But music is truly the universal language. People all over the world need the Pina Colada song for sure.
I guess so.
Yacht rock in Australia.
I love it. Maybe it's a #1 hit there right now.
It could be. It could be. And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
When I sell vintage bottles. I sell vintage perfume online. Mercari, you can still sell vintage perfumes on eBay. They just go under the collectibles edition category. When I say for instance, I'm going to sell this polo, whatever it is, I will take the cap off. I will put shrink wrap over the top of that, put the cap back on, and then wrap it in shrink wrap again, do my bubble wrap, tissue, whatever, and then send it off in my box. And I've never had anything explode or drip or spill.
Yeah, if you don't have shrink wrap, that's one of those staples that should be at your shipping table. I use it not every day, but definitely weekly.
Yep.
I sell these 2 wine glasses, Tiki wine glasses that they have a little bit of bubble wrap. When we turn them over, they fit nice together.
Ooh.
And then we just saran them so it's just one piece, so they're not moving around.
Exactly. Yep. It helps everything just more stabilized in the box.
All right, so I sold this big badass Tiki bowl for $115 the other day.
Wow.
Problem was when I started selling this Tiki bowl, it was before price changes of shipping. And so I charged $35 and it cost $36. Now my tip is if you have something where you relist over and over and over, make sure that when you realize you're losing money to go adjust it before you hit the relist again. Because funny enough, I didn't adjust it yet. I did relist it, but I haven't adjusted it yet. So I have to take my own tip. But yeah, just remember things that you keep relisting. Once you've discovered it, you should go do it right away. Unlike me, who didn't do it right away on Friday, and I probably should remember to do it tonight. So always make sure if you don't do it right away, see proof positive, you forget. I didn't do it right away, but I think, oh, there's my shipping tip. And then I worked on the slide instead of working on upping the price. So I'm an idiot. The Rupert Holmes, where is that? The Rupert Holmes remix album. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Escape the Pina Colada song 17 different ways.
That's funny.
Do you like acoustic? Do you like metal? Do you like... And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing.
Yes. I have been forcing myself to not go to estate sales because if you can see behind me, I have got an apartment full of crap. Source at home. I know the thrill of the hunt is strong, but I have to take my apartment back. It's gotten out of control. So source at home. Yeah, exactly. Just stay home and no one gets hurt.
Yeah, and funny, we don't compare notes ahead of time. Like, what's your tip? What's my tip? Because guess what my tip is?
What is your tip?
Source at home.
Source at home. All right.
Now,
great.
mine's a smidge different. I was prepping a webinar for the Secret Beach for last month. I was doing what's hot in hats right now. And as I got to a hat that was hot, my wife used to have it. I showed her the price it's selling for. I go, hey, you still got this hat? So she walked up to her closet and found it. And that's a $100 hat right there.
Wow.
So, make sure when you're, you should always be researching every day what your specialty is. And if you ever see something that you owned at one point, go see if you still own it. Because if you ain't using it, you might as well. Yeah, she hasn't worn that hat in 20 years. Might as well turn it into a $100 bill. So yes, definitely source at home.
Yeah, I know I've got good stuff here. I just can't remember what it is. So it's kind of like shopping all over again.
Yeah. Oh, surprise. What's in this box? Yay.
Exactly.
And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling.
Send offers. Don't be afraid to, send an offer because it gets the ball rolling. They might send something back. I've sold stuff where they accepted the offer or they volleyed over and sent me a counter offer. And even lowball offers. I'll get lowball offers all the time. I just got one on a jacket I have listed on Poshmark. It's a really cool 80s acid wash denim jacket. I've got it listed for $90. They sent me an offer for 18, and of course I volleyed back and they declined because they don't want to pay what I'm asking for, but it's a conversation starter. So even if somebody sends you a low ball offer, don't be afraid to send something back. That's a more reasonable.
Always, 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I was in another group today that they're like, screw that guy, block him. I'm like, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Because look, the buyer's testing the water. You might be desperate and need money, and you might just take it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you send back a reasonable counter, they might just take it and pay right away. Like that's happened to me many times. So always.
Exactly. Yeah, and you never know what to try.
Adele wants to know if I have a profit pile. Adele, I have a whole house just for my office. So the entire house is a profit house. All right. You got to group things sometimes. I didn't set out to buy all these dumb little keychains from Fitzgerald's. It's a casino downtown, but they came in a box of junk. And I thought, can I sell these? And then I looked at them up by themselves, and there are no single solds as of late. But look, you can get it for $7. There's a $4 one, So I'm like, all right, how do you make it attractive? How about 11 for $25? Now, I've got like pennies into them because I bought this whole lot of junk for $8. I've already made a couple hundred. So truly it's free money, but I didn't want to get rid of them, but somebody wanted 11 of them. Ta-da, $25. So, think in quantity sometimes when things aren't all that attractive by themselves.
Yeah, because that's a good way. I mean, they might use them for party favors or, as gifts or something.
Absolutely. And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season? Awesome.
I love this. I wanted to keep him so bad, but I was like, the newest movie's coming out soon. And I had him listed right before Halloween, actually. And I thought that I was going to sell him for Halloween. And he sat and he sat and he sat. And then somebody sent me an offer. They sent me an offer and I countered back 150. So he took my offer of 150. So I shipped him out in March. I just sold him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and the new Scream is out, and I'm sure that's what prompted that purchase. And funny enough, as I said earlier, we do not compare notes. Mine is also Halloween. Now, who needs a half pig mask in the middle of March? Let me tell you, I really want to know. Is this guy robbing a bank or something? Like, what is happening in your life that you're like, you know what I need right before St. Patty's Day? A half pig mask.
Seems legit.
Yeah, a half pig mask with a whole head of hair.
Maybe it was the same
it didn't sell for much. It wasn't a big sale, but I thought, how weird. And this was listed, as Becky's was, before Halloween.
Yeah.
No one needed it until mid-March. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was definitely thinking bank robber.
Yeah. That's awesome.
For sure. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week. Hey, I know these shoes. They went to Mexico.
He sent me such a nice note. He was like, you don't realize how happy you've made my wife. And then he left this great feedback. The guy was so nice. I'm like, I need to find another pair of shoes so that I can list them that he wants. It was a really great transaction. Super.
That's always the best when they're super happy. And mine's the same way. I love music. I know another shocker. And I love getting music around the world to the people who need it, who want it, who need that music. What a great feedback. So the band is Recoil. It's an offshoot of Depeche Mode featuring Alan Wilder. And a fabulous CD. I started driving my old car again and needed some new old CDs for the road as a Depeche Mode fan. I'm always going back to Alan Wilder. So he took the time to tell me why he bought it, because he was going to use it for some road tunes, So I love that CD ended up in the right person's hands.
Yep.
And where can we find you, Becky?
You can find me everywhere. I'm on Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Instagram.
On the grams.
The grams. The IG. Sassy Frog Vintage. That's me.
There you go. Come find her. All right. Those of you in the Secret Beach, Nadine is doing our guest webinar of the month. That'll be this coming Friday. Now, it is a daytime one because she has 3 children, all in school and all in a variety of activities. So when I get Nate to be able to do one with me, it's got to be early while kids are all tied up in school. So 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're around during the days on Friday, write that down for next Friday. If not, you can always watch it after the fact whenever you want. And speaking of cleaning out your apartment, taking your apartment back, and my profit piles in my whole house, Mom and I are decided to do spring cleaning next week and talk about that, getting your business ready for spring and the summer. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the post up early this week, like Monday. That'd be tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. And what do you want to clean out? So please participate, and then we'll kind of see what people are really concentrating. Like, do you want to do an inventory? Do you want to clean out your garage of all the extra boxes you never used? Do you want to take back your profit piles in your apartment? What do you want to do? Or could it be virtual? Have you not cleaned out your emails in 1,000 years? You know, that kind of thing too. So what spring cleaning do you want to get to? And if everyone would just pop in and answer that in the thrifting board, we'll kind of see what the general consensus is, what you want to clean out. All right. Boom. Good job. Let's get right to our guest, shall we? And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Oh, I almost had it. There we go. Boom. So close. So close. Bibles, booth, and a toad. What's happening, Bruce? How are you, man?
I'm doing real well.
And let's make Bruce big here. Oops. Let's make Bruce big here. Look at that background, Becky. Look at all those coffee cups.
I'm jealous. I want that kind of. That's what I'm going for.
The organization is amazing, Bruce. Amazing.
Thank you.
Kudos.
So, Bruce, how long have you been selling on eBay?
I've been selling on eBay for 24 years.
Oh, you got me by a year.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's awesome.
You got me by about 6 months, I think, give or take. That's awesome. And was it when you first started doing it? Was it just extra cash? When was the point you said, I don't need my 9-to-5 job? I'm just going to sell on eBay.
Well, I've always sold on eBay, even with the 9-to-5 job. And I sold on eBay because I was a professional photographer, and I specialize in weddings. And every year I would buy new equipment, and it was easier to sell the old equipment on eBay. And then also, my background is photo engineering, so I would sell darkroom equipment.
Very cool. So selling on eBay, did that help you buy the new equipment every year?
Yes.
That you're nice.
It really did, because like sometimes the flash, I would buy a new flash for the camera, and I would sell the old one for almost the same price as I buy a new one.
Wow.
That's always the best when you can do that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's what. All right. So the next part we're going to talk about is the toads, because let me bring this up. You work for a company. Come on, let's go. There we go. Called Toad Hall Books and Records. And I actually came and visited you a couple years ago. And there's Toad Hall on eBay. I mean, 16,836 listings. Are you responsible for all 16,000 of those, Bruce?
No, I'm not responsible for all 16,000.
So is there someone else listing there besides you too?
Yes, what they're doing is they're listing a lot of the records on their website, which automatically will list on eBay.
Oh, gotcha.
Wow. Okay. So what do you do? What do you do for them? Do you just manage the eBay store?
I manage the eBay store.
Okay.
I take care of all the correspondence. I do a lot of listing of stuff that is like they'll get a record in, which we'll put it in an auction. Probably, we'll see where it goes. Finally, it ends up. But there's some records that have gone for insane money.
Wow. So how does shipping work? Do you take care of shipping?
No, they have a person that takes care of the shipping.
Okay.
But if that person's not available, then I'll take care of shipping.
Okay.
So they got to do a new one of these 3D tours, because this is the old store. Right? They're in a new space since I was there, right?
Oh, yes. They have expanded. I had a lot more merchandise, and they probably have one of the largest record collections in the area.
That's insane.
And what area is that, Bruce?
The Chicago, Illinois area.
And so I visited you at the old location. How's the new location compared to the old one in terms of?
Well, it's still the old location. They just bought the building next door.
I thought they moved. Oh, okay, my bad.
And expanded that direction.
I was gonna say they expand, so they didn't move; they just expanded.
They expanded.
Okay.
And they do have, I mean, a hell of a variety because CDs, the vinyl, books. This is all comic books in the back. There's electronics right there. So the variety is insane in this store. It's a great store to check out. So if you haven't checked it out, go check. If you live in the Chicago area, go check it out for sure.
Yeah.
So what's your do you have a set schedule there, Bruce?
Yes, I go in at 7 in the morning, and they don't open until 12. So I'm all by myself in my own building, and I do the work, and it works out real well.
Nice. I don't like 7 a.m. though. We're not friends.
I start work at 7 too. So Rich and Nyla, I want to know specifically what town are you guys in?
Rockford, Illinois.
Oh, that's not too far.
Rockford. Oh, there it is. Lisa's got it. Boom.
I might have to come visit you next time I go to Indiana.
Yeah.
All right. So you sell on your own, you sell for Toad Hall, and you got a booth in an antique store. Now, I don't have enough hours in the day. How the heck do you have enough hours in the day? This is crazy awesome.
Well, my wife helps me a lot, and she pretty much takes care of the booth. I help her also with it. You can see there's a lot of jewelry there,
Yep.
A lot of Fenton glassware, Beanie Babies, and so we buy. We'll go to an estate sale. They'll have end of the day. We'll make them offer for all the jewelry they got left over, and that's where we get a lot of our jewelry.
Nice. That looks like quite a selection. I
was
like
gonna say,
that.
that's all. As Lisa said, that's a lot of earrings.
That is a lot of earrings.
That's a lot of earrings.
Wow.
Now, how long have you had a booth?
5 years now.
Okay.
Is the rent pretty reasonable on the booth for you?
It's very reasonable. It's $150 a month.
Wow, that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
So, like, are you able to, like, do you sell enough in the booth that you're able to cover that, but maybe make a little bit on a profit?
We average a slow month will be a profit of 500, and a good month will be around 900.
Very good. Very cool.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Yeah. Says the nosy hairdresser.
Yeah. My mom wants to know if Beanie Babies still sell.
Yes, they do. We sell a lot of them, and we'll buy them for about 50 cents. We sell them for $3, and they sell real well.
That's good news.
I mean, here's a booth of things I never would even look at.
Mm-mm.
And you're doing like 500, 900. I'm like, what? This is crazy.
I'll look at earrings and I'll look at the glass, but I usually pass up the Beanie Babies.
What? So, store, your own business, the booth. Is there ever a moment of the day when you're not thinking about online selling or commerce in general?
Pretty much evenings. I don't think about it.
All right. So you actually take the evenings off. That's something I do not do.
Deb will come and get me because she'll say, I've been down here too long. And, we have a basement, which is totally full. And so it's like 1,400 square feet of stuff.
Lisa says, are those mystery bags up top in your booth?
Those are grab bags, and they're we sell those for $2, and most of them have a piece of jewelry in them and some small toy for the kids.
Oh, that's cute.
Now, who can reach them way up there besides me?
Those are the extra ones.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Right in front. I'd be like, I can pick this one in the corner because I can reach it. Yeah, I had my booth and it was okay. Problem is I had a bad booth partner, and so that really can make or break the deal. if you're sharing a booth with somebody and they don't carry their weight or they just put trash in your booth. You know, my old partner put broken coffee mugs in our antique booth and wrote on the tag, broken coffee mugs, and then put the broken handles inside the mug. And I'm like, we are not selling trash in our booth.
No, we don't do that.
So, yeah. So, you know, you're married to your wife, obviously. It's a different story. You guys have been together quite a while. But, yeah, if you're going to go in with a buddy, make sure you really understand the buddy you're going in with, because it could end up being a nightmare. And I'm very upset your hair is so low right now, Becky.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So one of your big sellers, and that's our third part of the graphic, is Bibles. And I thought about this question earlier. Could be a silly question. Might not be. Are you a particularly religious person, Bruce?
No.
Okay. I was wondering, because I'm like, can you know enough about Bibles if that ain't your thing?
I call myself a recovering Catholic.
All right, fair enough.
And which I really enjoy selling Catholic Bibles and missalettes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's money there.
They sell very well. So if you can find like this is the missalette,
mm-hmm.
and they're not very big. And in 1964, the Catholic Church went from a Latin Mass to an English Mass. So these missalettes are written in Latin and English. And that's ones that sell real well. I just sold one this weekend for $69.
Woo!
Wow.
And how much did you pay for it? Do you remember?
$2.
Nice.
Not $64. I'm gonna have to get all my stuff. I'm Catholic as well, so yeah, I need to go get out my daily missals and get them listed. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned, because I haven't sold them yet.
Well, what else you got? What else did you just pick up there, Bruce?
This one I picked up this weekend, and I got it listed for $120. I gave $3 for it because it's a dictionary, and people like that. The ones that sell real well are study Bibles. Those go real well. They sell quick. The other ones take a while. I did a little I sold last year in 22 60 Bibles, and then this weekend I went to estate sales and I bought 4 Bibles, spent $8, and I have them listed for a total of $266.
Wow.
Here are your most recent sold Bibles. So there you go.
That's awesome. So it's not just one particular. I mean, it's like it's all kinds.
Yeah, look at the variety.
It's a variety.
That is awesome. By the way, so you're working at a store that's got 16,000 items, and your store has. Oops, let me back up one more screen. 5,264 items. Nice. 100% positive feedback. 10,000 items sold. Well done, sir. Well done. Go away, Decline.
Awesome.
Go away. But again, like a lot of us, good variety of products in your store. Now, Debbie, my producer, is fascinated with these gnomes.
The gnomes are awesome.
She went down, when she saw them in your store, Bruce, she went down the Tom Clark gnome rabbit hole. She just kept giving me all this information. And I think I was watching a movie with my wife, and I'm like, I hadn't even looked at Bruce's store yet. I didn't know what the hell you're talking about. And she's like, oh, there are all these cool different gnomes and stuff. So how'd you get into these gnomes? Where'd you learn about them?
One of the, since I go to estate sales every weekend, I'm good friends with a lot of the owners of the estate sales. And one of them came to me and she says, I have 5 totes full of gnomes.
Oh, wow.
Do you want them? Well, my first question is, what's a gnome? I had no idea what it was. And then I said, well, how much you want for them? And she goes, told me, and I says, fine, I'll pay you $100. I'll take all 5 totes. So I've been selling gnomes now for 2 years because trying to empty out all these totes of them. And the ones that sell quicker are the ones that have, they're signed by Tom Clark. And so they're just, I don't have much in them, so I just enjoy selling them.
That's good. They're
Yeah,
sick.
Funny, Matt and Aaron found a Shriner guy from Tom Clark yesterday. Too weird.
That's fun. Did you get it, Aaron?
No,
did
Matt.
y'all get it?
Matt and Aaron did.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So someone said, are there Bibles that don't sell? I got to imagine with any kind of anything. Yeah, there's some that you don't want to waste your time with.
If the Bibles are in more recent Bibles, like in the past 5-6 years, they don't sell as fast. Most Bibles, I can sell pretty about every Bible I got. And I've sold Bibles that are written in German. If they're missing the cover, the title page, they don't sell. They just don't sell if they don't have the title page. And but if they have the family history filled out, like in a family Bible, like this is a family Bible, and inside is, they can fill out the death and birth and all the information. People will buy those because they're doing family history research and stuff. So they'll buy those Bibles that have that information filled out. So I'll put in the family's name. So if it's a Smith family, well, I'll put Smith family Bible.
That narrows it right down to half the United States.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think that a Bible that's already been filled out like that wouldn't sell, but that makes sense if somebody's doing the genealogy on their family and they're looking for stuff like that, and they, that stuff's been given away before they even got their hands on it, or they weren't born yet. That's a really good idea. I never thought to put, if it's been filled out, to put the last name of the family that the Bible is owned by.
Or even Bibles that have the person's name embossed in the cover, I'll still put the name on the title because someone will want it.
Interesting.
They may say, well, that's my uncle or whatever.
That's cool.
But Bibles that are heavily underlined, highlighted, I don't buy those. Those don't sell.
That makes sense.
So Pear Tree Finds wants to know, what's your super tip for buying books? What's the ultimate Bruce super tip?
I buy books that don't have barcodes because the book sellers, they'll come in the first day and they scan books. That's all they do. And they leave. They don't have a barcode on them. They're out. The Bibles don't have barcodes. This book here, I got this weekend. Does not have a barcode on it. It's sealed. It's Moby Dick or The Well, Easton Press, which is a really good book. And I paid $30 for it, and it's a $150 book.
Nice.
Wow.
But and it was the last day of the sale, so the book buyers have all been through there already.
I love, because the same thing happens with me with music. The guys with the little scanners scan the barcodes. And so when you get to music, on the things that don't have barcodes, and there are some, they just keep on trucking. That's a lot of the promos. And I just follow behind them and I'll grab things right that they just pass and go. And they hear me laughing and they're like, shit, what I missed. but they're just so focused on only barcodes, they don't ever pause and look at things without barcodes.
Yeah, I bought the book, The Titanic, Sinking of the Titanic. I've bought that book 3 times already, and it sells for in the hundreds also.
Wow.
And people will pass it by.
Because there's no barcode on it.
There's no barcode on it.
And that was like the original, like shortly after, just a few years after it sank.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that evil laugh all the time in thrift stores when I'm following behind people with scanners. They could be more well-rounded. You could definitely use that in conjunction with other products to figure out things without barcodes, but they don't. And so I never want to teach those people because they leave good stuff for me. I teach all y'all, but I won't teach them because they leave good stuff. All right, I got a question about those mugs. Is that all one set, like that middle shelf there? Is that all one set?
No, that's a lot of different sets.
Okay. I was saying, that'd be a lot to ship in one thing.
That's nothing compared to, we have a room that has wall-to-wall dishes with this type of shelving. And I think there's 14 of those shelves in that room, and it's stacked. Then outside of that room is another probably 8 of those shelves, and it's all Christmas dishes. Just like this shelf is all Christmas.
That's awesome.
Now, does your wife help you ship?
No.
That was a quick answer. No. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Lisa found an Isaac Asimov book that didn't have a barcode for $3,000.
That's insane. That's such
that would be the best evil laugh ever, at least if someone was scanning in front of you.
Yeah, it's a last day of an estate sale, and there was a Bible sitting there, and it looked really a nice looking Bible, and cost me $1 that day. I get it home, and I found out it was signed by the Pope.
Yes.
And it was a present to the bishop here in Illinois, who's since passed. And the Pope has just passed not too long ago. I sold that Bible for $1,000.
Dang.
Wow. That's insane. Yeah, always check. Always check to see if it's signed.
And the other book that I bought, which I'll grab it. Again, no barcode. It's sitting in a nice sleeve here. Whoops. And the title is Keeping Faith, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Well, if they would have took the time to look at it and pull it out, they would have seen it had a certificate of authenticity, limited edition, signed by Jimmy Carter.
Wow.
But they passed it up.
That's amazing.
Did you do the evil laugh?
Yes.
I love it.
Lisa wants to know if you ever find cash in Bibles.
No, but I found obituary and death certificate and the funeral expenses, which I have listed.
Wow.
Yeah, Debbie saw that and she's like, "Look at this," and she sent me that link too. Yeah, Nadine breaks things just by looking at them. So yeah, you can never go in Bruce's basement. You are forbidden, Nadine. Yeah, see, Becky's the same way. She finds some of her best jewelry finds after the dealers have searched and picked through the stash. Yeah. So once you get good at something, Becky jewelry, me CDs, Tiki mugs, Bruce Bibles, you can follow behind anybody and still find good stuff. Now, are you finding any Bibles in the thrift stores, or you mainly find them at estate sales and garage sales?
I really don't do thrift stores.
Okay.
I mostly only do estate sales. I do about 3. There's an average of 3 to 8 a weekend. So I do at least 3 estate sales a weekend, and I'm able to buy all the stuff I want. And I also like to buy weird stuff. If I bought a set of prosthetic legs and sold those.
And you say
That's
legs.
pretty-
Was it both legs?
It was 2 left legs.
Okay. Someone can really have 2 left feet.
yeah. One for every other day and then one for casual Friday. That's
Yeah.
He doesn't do thrift stores? Faints.
fine.
So one other thing that Debbie was going through your store, she just loves some of your photography. For instance, she loved your use of the white mannequin head on the white background with this black hat. So it looks like it's just kind of floating there. And she loved your spoons.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we have a lot of silverware. Deb likes to sell silverware. She buys a lot of it. And that's her thing, and she's real good at it. And so
I'm going to use that. I'm going to steal that because I've got some silverware I've got to get listed.
Yeah, and I don't have a white background at all. I have a very light gray or the white brick one. I like the idea of the all white with the white head and just everything really disappears and there's just the hat is there. I really like that.
Yeah, that's a really cool picture. It's a really cool hat.
Yeah. Thanks for all the amazing tips tonight, Bruce. This is awesome.
You're welcome.
Oops, wrong click. There we go. So estate sales right now, obviously, because you're buried still in snow. But when the time comes, do you do regular garage sales too?
No, I don't do garage sales.
Man, it's just estate sales. This is
Just
awesome.
estate sales. I buy everything.
You are very focused on one thing.
Yep. And if we do thrift stores, we drive an hour north up to Madison, Wisconsin, and we'll go to St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores because they're really nice and everything. And we're able to pick up some real good stuff there.
Very cool. Yeah, I like St. Vincent de Paul's. They've usually got some really eclectic, they've got an eclectic array of things to choose from.
Yes.
All right, let's look at your scores and duds. And we'll start with your duds. We'll work our way up to the scores.
Well, I bought that in 2017 and finally sold it. So I call that a dud because I just sat around way too long.
Yeah, that's a Debbie length right there. It's cute though, but yay, sold.
This one I call a dud because I could not find that 8-track anywhere. So I sent the buyer a message, told him I couldn't find it. Is there another 8-track you would like in replace of that? And he went through my listings and found another one, and we called it an even.
I really thought you were going to say, and I couldn't find that one either.
I know, I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for you to be like, oh, well. As always a pisser when you can't find the thing that's sold.
Did you ever find it?
Never.
Oh, man.
Someone broke in and stole an association 8-track from you.
Apparently.
All right, so there's your duds. Now, Debbie did add a score to your thing because she loved that you sold this Yankee Candle for so much.
Wow.
Yes, this one went international. It went over to Italy. I don't know where because he used a APO box.
Okay. The gnomes took it. Yeah, you gotta watch out for them gnomes. They're taking your 8-tracks. Do you remember what you paid for this Yankee Candle?
Yeah, that was a $3 candle.
Nice.
Wow.
I don't spend a lot. I don't do the Peggy quarter. Mine are more around, $1 to $5 range.
Still great though. I mean,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And I did sell a CD this weekend. I sold a Metallica CD for $40. I paid $1 for.
Yay.
Nice. Yeah, Metallica always sells for me.
All right, this is badass.
I bought this at a church. The church folded.
Mm-hmm.
and they're selling off their stuff. I gave $30 for it, and which I was happy. It was a trick to pack, though.
Now, how often do you hear of a church going out of business?
Not very often. I wish a few more might do that.
Well, but they do.
Yeah.
That is an awesome sale.
Yeah, that's a really cool cross.
And here's a good tip right here. And these kind of things, let the new buyer clean it. I mean, unless it's disgusting, you know, if it was caked in filth, different story. But a little polish. Maybe the new buyer likes the patina the way it just is, and maybe they want to polish it up, but you let the buyer decide what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's
I don't want to polish it.
What's that? Oh, a Dixon.
Hey, Bible.
The study Bibles do sell very quickly. This one, I probably gave a couple dollars for, and it sold within about 2 weeks of selling it and buying it.
Nice. And you got asking price for it?
I got an asking price for it.
Very cool.
I take a lot of pictures.
This is those Bibles with those nice tabs on the end there.
Yeah, the tabs are very helpful. And now that we have you can put 24 pictures up there, we can take as many as we want.
Yeah.
It's good to have those.
Hey,
cool.
Some Gnome Nativity.
You'll find that the gnomes are in sets. You'll see like this one, the nativity scene. You'll have gnomes that are a train series or seashell series. There's a whole series of different ones.
Yeah, I would have never looked at that one. Oh yeah, $200 for sure. Crazy detail in the faces too. They're awesome. All right, last but not least. All right, I told you my mom was going to be bummed about one of these. She had one of these for free and let it go.
Oh man.
Not only does my father need it, she could have flipped it.
I live in a condo, and I'm the president of the condo association, and one of the condos was up for sale and it sold, and the new buyers did not want this chairlift. So the sellers came to me and says, do you want this chairlift or we're going to throw it out to the curb? So I went down there and got it, and I sold it in one day.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And you got that in a padded flat right envelope? Yeah.
Local pickup.
Yep. See, there's my mom. I told you, Bruce, she had one for free and let it go.
Yep.
And like I said, my father could use it. Him and Stairs aren't getting along anymore. And so could have been put to use, but or she could have made money. But there's a good cross section of Bruce's store of the variety he sells. So it is good to specialize in something, but it's also great when you can also be open to, hey, that's $900 just sitting there. I'll take it. I'll trim that. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yep, that's an amazing score. Those chair rails are expensive to buy new. So yeah, if you're ever at an estate sale and that's in the house, say, hey, can I take that? If they're not selling it, they might just let you take it off the wall. So what's next, Bruce? What's coming up at Toad Hall? Anything exciting?
Oh yeah, record store day coming up.
Oh, yeah. 3 weeks?
15th, I think, of April.
And on record store day, are you actually working in the store at all? Do they need extra hands on deck?
They would like me to, but I don't.
Fair enough. Bruce's store is, his eBay ID is Hugo5178. There you go, Sabrina. So check out Bruce's store when you get a chance. And anytime we have good successful sellers on, like Bruce or Becky Dick or Becky Joyce, myself, make sure to check out their stores. Might find something you want to buy, but always check out their solds, because I'm always going to have tons of music sold. Bruce is always going to have tons of Bible sold. So it's always a good place to check in and see what's selling and what's hot. It's always a good way to learn. And there it is. Thanks, Janet. 22nd of April is Record Store Day.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Bruce, thank you very much for being our guest tonight.
You're welcome. It was
Good
a
to
lot
see
of
you.
fun.
Good to see you, brother. Becky, thank you for co-hosting with me this evening.
Anytime. Pappy ditched me. He's still in the bedroom snoozing. He wouldn't come out.
No cat. What?
No.
And that's it. I'm going to go home and ice my hip. And next week, we will be back with spring clean. Don't forget, we're going to put the post up on Monday. So if you would do me a favor, pop in and just say the one major thing you want to work on in your business for spring cleaning. And we'll kind of see what the general consensus is. And we'll talk about the ones that got kind of like the most votes. Maybe I'll do a poll. Yeah, I'll do a poll. So we'll do it that way. And that way we can see what people want to work on. And with that, I say, have a good evening, everybody. And we will see you next week. Ta-ta.
Bye.